AL to third, where he has played many games, and now you've got an opening at first base. And who did A.J. Hinch said has played first base quite a bit this year? Jordan Alvarez. So let's see about that analysis. Phil Chappie says he's just picked up Ian Desmond off the heap. Okay, way to go, Chappie. But if Alvarez is not owned in your league, he needs to be. And he needs to be immediately. Let's talk about some pitchers. I'm going to get to my Mount Rushmore of rookies as we close the show today. Saving that for last, right? Because I want to keep you guessing. I know Chappie's like, who's Arnie going to name? All right, we're going to talk about it in a few minutes. But how about that kid Devin Smeltzer last night for Cleveland? Wow, left-hander, 6'3", 195 pounds. I said Cleveland. I meant the Twins. I'm getting in too big a hurry, so let's just slow down a minute, okay? Devin Smeltzer pitched for the Twins last night. Called up because of an injury to Michael Pineda, lefty, 23 years old, from Voorhees, New Jersey, drafted by the Padres in the 33rd round of the 2014 draft. So not a highly recruited kind of guy, right? He then went to the Dodgers drafted him, so he went back to school to San Jacinto College in North Campus, Houston, Texas. Redrafted in 2016 by the Dodgers in the 5th round. Okay? So he starts off in the Dodger organization, and in 2018 he's traded over to the Twins during the season. He was at Double-A for the Dodgers, traded to Minnesota, reported to their Double-A team in 2018, and now he's in 2019. He's at Triple-A, and he came up after going 3-1 at Double-A with a 0.60 ERA, 4 games at Triple-A with a 1.82 ERA, and last night he was lights out for the Minnesota Twins. So keep your eye on him. I'm not sure if he will stick once Pineda is back. Yes, he was part of the Dozier trade. So, but to keep your eye on him, I think he may be worthy of an ad. Again, when I talk about these players, I'm suggesting players if you have a need, okay? I'm not big on rookie pitchers after one start to add them unless, it's like one of my Mount Rushmore guys I'm getting ready to talk about. But certainly the way he pitched last night, he looked really good. And he's a guy that if I have a need at pitcher, I'm going to keep my eye on him. So, with that said, it's now time for the Mount Rushmore of rookie pitchers. Yes, it is. Are you ready? I got a few here I want to talk about that are, in my opinion, going to be called up this year. Some maybe sooner than later. And I want to start with Detroit's number 1 draft pick from 2018, Casey Mize. Yes, I do. And what has Casey Mize done this year to make Arnie Jones think that he may get the call to the major leagues in 2019? Well, here's what he's done. He started off the year at High A, and he pitched 26 innings. Okay? During those 26 innings, of course he threw a no-hitter, but he was 2-0 with an 0.35 ERA in 4 games. So he's promoted. And he's promoted to Double-A, where in 6 games started, he's thrown 38 innings, surrendered 22 hits, struck out 35. He's 4-0 with a 1.40 ERA. Now, with those numbers in mind, it would not surprise me if Casey Mize is not ready for a call-up to Triple-A sooner than later. And if he's called up to Triple-A in June, then my prediction is he's going to be in Detroit by August 1st. Keep your eye on Casey Mize, because I think he certainly belongs in my Mount Rushmore of rookie pitchers. Who's next? Because, Mount Rushmore has 4 presidents, so I got to have 4 pitchers, right? How about Dylan Cease? I've mentioned Dylan Cease a few times before. I was reading an article in the Charlotte Observer. Right now, Dylan Cease is pitching for AAA Charlotte. Steve Lytle wrote an article yesterday. The title of it, Could the White Sox Call Up the Charlotte Knights' Dylan Cease next? Why not? Let's take a look at Dylan Cease. At Triple-A this year, he's pitched 4 innings. He's 4-1, 8 games. His K per 9, 10.80. Okay? His home run per 9 is 0.68. All right? His ERA is 3.38. He is ready for the major leagues. Now, the question is, when will the White Sox call him up? Do the White Sox have a need? Sure. Okay? And, the only thing is they may not want to rush him. They've even said that. But, last year they called up Michael Kopech around this same time, around the 1st of June. And so, Dylan Cease, I've watched him pitch in person. Let me go back to Lou. Lou says, yeah, he wants a Twins pitcher. I agree, Lou. The Twins score so many runs, this kid's going to get some wins, don't you think? And wins are a commodity that you don't often predict on, but when you have a run differential of plus 112 through the first third of the season, you pretty much know if you've got a good pitcher, you're going to get some wins, right? So I like that analysis, Lou. I'm with you on that one. Going back to Dylan Cease, he started off in the Cubs organization. He was in that firehouse sale in 2017 where the Cubs traded players. They sent him over to the White Sox. The White Sox had him. I saw him at High A last year when he was pitching for Winston-Salem in the Carolina League. He's pitched really well this year, and so Dylan Cease with that high K per 9, the presence on the mound, you have to see it to understand it, but he knows how to pitch. He hits his spots. He has command of his pitches. Dylan Cease, number 2 on my list of Mount Rushmorees for pitching. All right, I got another rookie. And these are all guys I think will come up this year. Okay, and I've got an honorable mention as well. All right. Brendan McKay. Brendan McKay with Tampa Bay. All right, starts the year at Double-A. He's now at Triple-A Durham, 23 years old, and he is a strikeout machine. He's one of these two-way players, right? He pitches, he hits. He doesn't hit that well this year, but he's pitching lights out. He really is. Give you some numbers on him. At Double-A, he was 3-0 before the call-up with a 1.30 ERA. He pitched 41 innings, surrendered only 25 hits, and struck out 62. 41 innings and 62 strikeouts. He's pitched one game at Triple-A for Durham, and in that game he pitched 5 innings. They pulled him after 69 pitches. So what that tells me is Tampa's saving the bullets in that arm. He only gave up 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. So I think he is being primed for a major league call-up. Have you seen him pitch? You need to. He is a great pitcher, okay? And he will help Tampa Bay this year. I predict he will help Tampa Bay make the playoffs. Okay, so I talked about earlier, the wild card boiled down to Yankees, Tampa Bay, Boston, and the Oakland Athletics. You got 4 teams for 3 spots. And I think Tampa makes one of those spots. And I think a big part of that in the second half is going to be Brendan McKay, based on the way they have treated him, limiting his pitches at Triple-A, getting him enough exposure to get his work in. They're saving those bullets so when he gets up to Tampa this summer, he can help them secure a playoff spot. Okay, so we've got Brendan McKay, Dylan Cease, Casey Mize, and here's my 4th, Jesus Luzardo. Jesus Luzardo from Oakland, he actually may be the closest to the major leagues. He starts the year, and he's going to be in the Oakland rotation. Talks about his shoulder hurting. They shut him down. This past Saturday, he throws 15 pitches, okay, simulated game. He hit 96 on the radar with his fastball. This is a lefty. Oakland needs this guy. I mean, the Oakland A's have been winning a lot of ball lately. Chappie says great baseball down there in the Charlotte area. You're exactly right. A lot of talent to scout. You are exactly right again. And Dylan Cease is part of that. But as we talk about Jesus Luzardo, Oakland has a need. He is probably the top-rated left-handed pitching prospect in all of baseball. It looks like from the way they are scheduling his starts and reading The Athletic, the article there on him, They're planning for him to pitch in games in June. It looks like he could be in Oakland by the All-Star break, if not sooner. He is certainly worthy of a watch, if not an ad in fantasy, and he is in my Mount Rushmore. So those are my 4 Mount Rushmore rookie prospect pitchers: Luzardo, Mize, Cease, and McKay. Let's hear it for them. All right. Good job, guys. Now, I got a runner-up. I got to give you one just to think about. Have you kept your eye on Danielson Lamet for San Diego? Remember Lamet came up last year. San Diego's team was horrible, but Lamet was pretty doggone good. He was striking out batters at a great clip, and then he went down with an injury. Okay, TJ had the surgery. Now he's back throwing. Okay, pitched in a game last week. Everything looks good. Danielson Lamet, and I talked about this a little bit last night, the Padres are a team, when you look at how they started the season, you never thought Fernando Tatis Jr., who should be back next week, by the way, would ever be their opening day shortstop. But they said, we're going for it. They call him up. They've got a crowded outfield. Naylor just came up. Quick hands. They got to make a trade. And Lenny said it on his show at 9 o'clock this morning. Will Myers, he's a strikeout looking a place to happen. Will Myers needs to go. Now, I don't know who's a taker for Will Myers in reality. I have no idea. But he's not performing. Naylor could play. They could make a trade. Can you imagine a trade to, say, Cleveland? You trade a player or two. You maybe get a great pitcher from Cleveland. You bring up a Danielson Lamet in the second half. Boy, starting to salivate thinking about how good the San Diego Padres really could be this year. Keep your eye on them. So those are my rookie pitchers to take a look at. And I think as we go forward, certainly there's a lot. There are others. I can't talk about them. There's another show following me, so I can't talk about everybody this morning. But these 4 guys that I've mentioned for my Mount Rushmore, they are certainly people that if you're not adding and stashing, you want to keep a look at, because they are going to be, in my opinion, fantasy relevant this year. Okay? So that's taking a look at that. Coming up, Suicide Squeeze at 11, Hump Day at midday, JJ Sports later this afternoon. Tonight we've got Drought for Upside with Jonathan Cole, Mark Larson. Then we got Mets 360 with Brian. A Fantasy Fan Sportcast with Easy and Allen. That'll conclude our day. It's been great being with you this morning. I want to thank everyone. Please support all your podcasters. We need your support. We need you listening. We need your comments. Lenny, thank you, buddy. Andrea, have a great day. And for everyone, go watch some baseball. This is Arnie, Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports. Have a great one.